And so when we think of other created worlds, God made a lot of worlds, and as we mentally picture what they might look like, I do this. I typically picture other worlds looking like me. But are we, the anthropos, as the Septuagint calls us, the anthropos, mankind, are we a unique species compared to other worlds? We learn in inspired commentary, human beings were a what? A new and distinct order. They were made in the image of God. Distinct means different, doesn't it? We're distinct from other worlds. This earth, the inhabitants of this earth are different than the other worlds. And so Jesus, he made us different from other worlds, but he made us the same as himself in the image of God. So in the image of God is different from other worlds, different from other beings, but the same as Jesus, the Creator himself. So why did he do that? Well, here's the answer. Because God saw the future and provided for it, like my $3,410. Now, when I was first becoming a Christian, the process coming to Jesus and becoming converted, born again and all that, it was about the time I graduated from Loma Linda University. And I got my first job, and I started working and making money. That was kind of neat. And I learned about tithing, and I learned about stewardship, and I realized the blessings that come with stewardship and benevolence. And so, and about that time, I decided, and I felt impressed, to start a savings account. Has anyone ever heard of a savings account? That's a kind of an unusual thing, but I felt impressed to start a savings account because other people did that, and so I thought I would do that. And so I started, as I got my paychecks, I would put a little here in my savings account, a little there, and over the several years, 3 or 4 years later, I had been building that savings account up. And I remember one day getting off work and going with my paycheck, going to Bank of America, the drive-through window there, and I deposited some money. And I said, I'll transfer some money to my savings account. And I decided to transfer $100. And so I put $100 and transfer to savings and enter, and it spit out the little receipt. And on my receipt, it said, your savings account balance is now $3,410, Neil. Can you remember that number? $3,410. And I thought, wow, $3,410. What am I going to do with all this money? To me, that was a lot of money, and I didn't have any plans for it. So on the way home, before I got home, I stopped by the post office out in our little country home. I got the mail. Only 2 letters there. One letter, I don't remember who it was from, but the other letter I remember because it was from Uncle Sam. And I said, what does Uncle Sam want? I opened that letter up, and I said, oh, this is crazy. What is the IRS? Whoa. Opened it up, and it said, dear sir, because you miscalculated your 1040 3 years ago, we have recalculated it for you. And we have determined now that you owe the IRS $3,410. I said, hallelujah. I've never been so happy to see an IRS bill like that. So how in the world does God do this? How did he... I didn't know that when I was depositing and transferring 100 here, 50 there, 25 over the 3 years, that I had no idea that God was ordaining that. To me, I just thought I was building my savings account up. But this is an important principle for Christians, is that Christians can count on this, that God sees the future and provides for it. Jesus says, if man falls, I have a perfect plan for his salvation. Check out this clue in Hebrews 10:5, where it says, sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not, but a body hast thou prepared for me. Man's body, anthropos, is a custom-made, in the image of God, creation by Jesus for Jesus. Jesus became a man, didn't he? He became a man in this customized body. We are distinct in that we're the same order as the heavenly family. All right.